Hi, I'm Terry J. Walker, and right here, this is my superstar, social media sidekick, Mr. Bailey Bob, and we're bringing to you a new show streaming on Mupo Entertainment called the I Am Power Hour, where everyone has a song to sing, a story to tell, and having to follow their passion to have the courage to rise and thrive. Could you be one of our next interviews as we all work together to bring love, light, unity, and connection to one another, and again, to have the courage to rise and thrive? Join me on the I Am Power Hour streaming on Mupo Entertainment.
Let them watch this.
We're going to work on it.
Definitely a good guy. Very good.
Back here on the mountain, and Mandy's getting back to her roots.
Roll, Allie. Yakety yak.
Hello, and welcome to the I Am Power Hour with me, Terry J. Walker. And I got my social media superstar sidekick laying over here beside me, but we had to do this on Zoom today because I had to reach all the way out to California to bring you my next guest. And I'm so excited about her. She is an entrepreneur. As a business owner, a coach, a motivational speaker who has shared the stage with thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and even other women in business. She calls herself a CEO. And as you might think, CEO is Chief Executive Officer. But wait, she's renamed it to Chief Encouragement Officer. She's a rising social media star with her daily encouraging messages and is the best-selling author of You Can Do Hard Things. I can't wait for you to meet her, so don't go away because we're going to be right back after this message. Welcome back. And you know, I gave you just a little hint of my guest today, but I want to add that she is a master at inspiring her employees and connecting community. And we all need that connection. She's the owner of this business called Home Run Pizza and has persevered even through the pandemic. How did she do that? Well, one of the things is with a smile, a kind word, and continuing to unite community and have motivation and inspiration. She's even got a new menu item you might want to try out if you get out there, because she'll throw you a knuckle ball. She is the epitome of the I Am Power Hour with the courage to rise and thrive. And I'm so excited to introduce to you my favorite guest and beautiful star, Miss Cynthia Caughie. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much. I'm glowing just for the presentation that you've given me. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I feel good inside when people say things like that. I'm like, wow, I'm blessed. I'm grateful, and I am leaning into all things that I have learned that I can share with people. So I just want to say thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. Thank you. I'm happy to be
you know, you deserve it. You've come a long way. You've done a lot, and I am so grateful that we're friends, even though you're way out there on the other side of the United States for me. But I'm grateful that you were willing and able to allow me to introduce you to my audience and the I Am Power Hour. So I am so grateful that you're here today. And I am so grateful and excited of the things that you're going to help my audience to show them how to have the courage to rise and thrive. So tell me, you've got so much going on, and I just don't even know where to start. So I'm going to let you start and tell me what's going on with you.
You know, the big things that I think that are going to help and support people are the things that you can do, the things that I want to help people realize that they can do in their life.
Yeah.
There's a quote from my book. It's not that we are scared of our, shoot, now I forgot it. It's Marianne Williamson. And basically, here we go. Our biggest fear is not that we are inadequate. It is that our light shines brighter than anything, right? And it's a paraphrased quote. But I mean, I believe that people don't know how to access, one, their courage. They don't practice it enough. They don't practice using their courage. Because I believe there's different levels of courage.
Yes, there are.
Right. And so it's interesting the way you say it, and it's interesting the way I've actually done it. You know what I mean? Putting the courage steps in place. When you say you're doing so much, I'm like, when I explain it to people, it does seem like a lot, but as I actually do it, it doesn't seem like that much. And I think that is a good, really, reflection of the courage itself. When you think about it, it seems like a lot, right?
Right.
So you might not necessarily think that you have that much courage, but as you use your courage, it doesn't seem like a lot. And it grows.
Amen. It does.
So a couple of things that I am doing. Thank you for asking. I have written the book, You Can Do Hard Things. And I believe that when people read that, they have a different perspective. When you say it's hard, right? You just think about it and you say that it's hard. Okay, great. But once you know it's hard, then it's not so hard, right? Your perspective changes.
And it's a fabulous book. You know, I've read it too. And you have, you talk a little bit about where you came from and where you're going and how you've gotten through this. So tell me and explain a little bit more about when you say it's hard and when you know it's hard, because it kind of reminds me of the old, I think it's Rudolph or something, but one of the old cartoons when I was growing up. And there's a little song in there. It says, if you put one foot in front of the other, soon you'll be walking across that floor. And then you put one foot in front of the other. And next thing you know, you're walking out that door. And it kind of reminds me of that. So tell us a little bit more about how you came upon this and how this book is helping so many people.
You know, originally my journey started when I wanted more. I didn't know what it was. I just had like this pull. And, you know, I'm a mom of 3. I own the restaurant, Home Run Pizza. I was married at the time, had a wonderful life. But for some reason, there was something pulling me towards more. And once I got out of my head, right? Mm-hmm. And I got into action of actually doing things, I learned this whole new world of self-development, of looking at myself, looking at me, not the exterior, not all of the things in my life, but looking at me on the inside.
Yes.
And courage doesn't come from the outside, right? It comes from the inside. Yep. So I believe that everything starts and stops with you. So that's why I'm so passionate about helping people see what they have inside of them.
Yeah.
The tagline for my book is how to be proactive with your growth and not reactive with your life. When you react to your life, then you're just doing what's in front of you. But if you're proactive and you're growing, then you can get in front of it.
And I'm a true believer in this little acronym, and I use it all the time. It's called LNT, and it's learn new things. And my audience has heard this over and over in my shows. but learn new things, have the willingness to learn new things. But I'm a true believer that everything, and I, like you, went through that phase of I was feeling like I was pulled. There had to be more to life than just going to work and coming home, paying the bills and all of those kinds of things. There had to be more to life to it. And the ability to take and learn about self-development, because everything begins from the inside. And if we want to develop, and even when I had written my book, The Resume of Life, we use a resume as all of those things that we've accomplished, our education, our work experience, all those types of things. But what we leave out is all those things from the inside, our true internal experiences. And everything starts from there. And if you want to develop professionally, you have to start where? Where you got to start?
With you.
With you. That's right.
You have to start with you. And just to finish the thought on the question is, why did I do it? Because it made such an impact in my life that I said, why didn't anybody tell me this? Why didn't anybody tell me that everything I need is right here inside of me? People search for the answer. They search for the person that's going to change them. They search for that thing when it's right here.
Yes, yes,
you.
Yes, yes.
Just have to learn how to access it. That's it. But we don't want to do the work. It's too hard. It hurts. We've gone through life and we've had judgments and failures and heartache and tragedy, and we're like, that's who I am, and it's really not.
Well, and we're afraid.
That's right.
We've gotten into all this fear-based thinking, if you will, and we're afraid that we're going to fail. We're afraid the shoe's going to drop. We're afraid it's going to rain today. We're afraid, we just start all of our sentences with a fear and fear-based thinking, and we're not even realizing that we're even saying these things even out loud. Go up to a conversation and hear somebody talking, and sooner or later someone is going to say, I'm afraid that, and finish the sentence. And they start with that.
And it's so crazy, because as you learn to change what you think, it changes how you think. So
Nice.
I can walk into a room now, even if it's with family members, and I pick up on all of those little things. Whereas before, growing up in my early 20s, early 30s, I just thought it was normal. Like, it never looked like it was odd or different, or it affected me in any way. It just was. That was just the way things were. And so when I changed what I thought, then it changed how I thought. And so now when I walk into a room and we're having conversations, I can pick up on so many little things going, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Sometimes I actually have to leave the room because I can't turn it around. Like when you go in and you've learned how to, access these thoughts and learn how to change something from a negative to a positive. But sometimes when there's just too many and they're coming at you, I'm like, ooh, I gotta go.
Amen. Sometimes we have to remove ourselves from that situation. And I know my audience wants to know, because you kept saying, how are we changing those thoughts? What are some tips, tricks, and tools of the trade that you have learned that you can share with us? And you guys don't want to go away, because you definitely want to know the answers to this. So we'll be right back after this commercial message. Welcome back with me, at the I Am Power Hour and my special guest, Miss Cynthia Caughie, and we're talking about how we can make some easy changes for our lives to improve ourselves. So, Cynthia, before we went to commercial, we talked a little bit about what we can do, but let's talk about maybe some tips, tricks, and tools of the trades of how we can begin to take those steps.
Well, I think first and foremost, it's actually wanting to do the work. You have to decide. You have to decide that this is something that you want to change. The trick is, like I said in that conversation, just before the commercial break, was sometimes you don't know, right? You're in a room, you grow up with family, the beliefs, they're just passed down to you. You don't really realize what's happening. And my big tip is to explore, to have new experiences. If you even have just an inkling of, okay, what's next? Or, more, then you're at that point in your life where you can say, okay, I'm committed to figuring it out, right?
Yes.
And when you're committed to figuring it out, wanting more, you make a decision. A lot of times decisions are hard for people. If you stay in the day-to-day, you are making a decision by not making a decision.
Yep, you are. And you're
Right?
letting your body lead the way.
Right.
You're letting your body actually be the mind, because we control in those we just go through the motions and these habits that we have built, and we're unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So
much goes into the subconscious and conscious. The subconscious is what we get, right, from our whole life history. So it's that constant computer always on. And that's where the negative or the beliefs or the what I can do, what I can't do, all of those things come from. But once you learn to not listen to them, right? The other big thing I learned is affirmations. So if you're aware, if you're self-aware, which is also something that's learned, you have to practice it.
Right.
If you become self-aware, which is one of the biggest things that I have learned in this self-development journey, is to ask myself questions, not looking for answers from anybody else, from within.
Yeah.
So the self-discovery is from within, not from anybody else. So when you become self-aware, then that is when the course of action comes, and you learn to not listen to what is that supercomputer, your subconscious. I recognized that I wanted something more. Well, what does that mean? So I had to stop listening to the voices in my head, and I had to say, okay, I am on a path of growth. I will search for the answers. I have the courage and confidence to live my true potential. And that pushed me. Mm-hmm. I talk to myself. Affirmations are so important. There's something you want to change. If you think that, there's a time in your life where one of my first affirmations was, I share very well. I learned that I was blocking myself because I would tell people, oh, I don't share very well. They'd ask me a question. I'd be like, no, I don't share very well. It was almost like my armor, right? I didn't want to let anybody in. I was a strong, confident Italian business owner who knew exactly what she wanted and knew where she was going. And I was like, I got this. And so when I found out what I was doing to myself by telling people I don't share very well, I was blocking myself. And when I opened that up, I'm telling you, the floodgates opened, and I changed what I thought. When you change what you think, it changes how you think. And so you just have to be open to it. But those are the two things that I would say. One is commit and stop listening to the voices in your head. You need to talk to yourself. Tell yourself what you want. When you tell yourself what you want and you get clarity, then you put the action steps in place. Sometimes you don't know how. And like you said, learn new information.
Learn new things.
Yeah. Learn new things. You just keep seeking and the path will appear.
Yes, it will. And the
Open
right
yourself
people will
up to
come along.
it.
The
and
right
the
people will
path
come
will
along.
appear.
Just like you. You and I have met a little over a year ago and become fast friends.
Mhm.
And you are so inspiring. And I love the fact of what you do about affirmations, and you talk so specifically about the importance of them. You know, I had written about that in my book, and affirmations actually are what pretty much began to turn my life around. They are significant. They are important. But what do you say to someone, because I've been asked these questions too, but what do you say to someone who says, I don't feel that way about myself. I'm afraid of that. I can't feel that way. And again, even with me, with affirmations and what I've learned, our affirmations begin mostly with two very valuable keywords, and that is I am. And what you choose to put after them create your reality. But I went through this where I had a lot of fear-based thinking and limited thinking, and I didn't believe in myself. And I was always searching, as we've discussed and as you discussed, out there for someone, sometime, something that was going to make a difference in my life. And when I came across affirmations, I began to utilize them when I was exercising and all of these types of things, walking, enjoying nature, and all of that. But how do you help someone who says, I can't say that I'm beautiful or I'm grateful or any of those things? How do you help them to get started?
It's a conversation. It's a really hard conversation because most of the time we are not truthful with ourselves.
Yes.
And so I have given my time. So you can set up a one-on-one with me. We have those hard conversations. They call me the CEO because I am the Chief Encouragement Officer. I have learned that encouragement can open up your world. I got chills. That can open up your world to loving yourself for one, and allowing yourself to want more. So when somebody says those things, there's a reason, right? Yeah. I have learned that the self-discovery process comes with what? Telling the truth. If you don't tell yourself the truth, if you're just lying to yourself, you're not going to have that breakthrough. You won't get to that point in your life where you're like, oh, this is why I don't believe I'm beautiful. This is why I don't believe I can do it. And so I've taken on the role of the CEO because I believe that the hard conversations, people just don't have someone that they can have that hard conversation with. Well, I'm it. I have given my time and I enjoy it and it fulfills me. And I tell people all of the time, you need a kick in the ass, I'll give you one. Because the hard conversations nobody wants to have. Well, I took on that role and I said, I will do it. I think that it is needed. I know what my gift is, and I'm willing to give you the kick in the ass that nobody else will.
Oh, yay. And that's, and you know, that's why you can do hard things.
That's right.
And so that is, I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal. And I want to make sure that we clarify that that kick in the ass is not something that's going to be abusive. And many people are in abusive relationships, and or something that's going to be another put down, if you will. We've been through that. There's many of us that we've got those limiting beliefs, and we've been told we're not good enough, we're not smart enough, we don't have enough, we're not this, we're not that. And we want to help you, and Cynthia wants to help you to overcome that. So make sure that you understand that she's going to encourage you, not allow you to continue to beat yourself up or allow others to beat you up.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's beautiful. I have a Facebook group actually that you are a part of as well.
Yes,
and I encourage We're doing a challenge right now, right?
Yes,
It's
we are.
all about discovery. It's about self-reflection. It's about learning who you are.
And you're building community through that as well. How can people, if they wanted to reach out and get to know a little bit more about you, maybe even through the social media, what's the name of that group, or how can they find you even on social media, and what social media platforms can they find you on?
I made it really easy. Everything is at Cynthia Caughie. And I mean, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram. Instagram actually has in my bio, you know, your little link tree. It has everything listed. I've got the Facebook group link. You can get a free download of my book. You can join the Affirmations group from that link. You can see where I'll be speaking next. I do have my website. My website offers all of those things. And that one-on-one call, I can help you get unstuck. And I do coaching. It's accountability coaching. So it's short term. It's not like life coaching. It's to get you unstuck. It's that thing where a lot of people just need accountability. They need somebody to help them see the things that they can't, and to hold them accountable to the things that they tell themselves.
Right. So they can find you and even sign up or contact you for your coaching at CynthiaCaughie.com. And that's Cynthia, CYNTHIA, Caughie, CAUGHIE.com. So it's real simple, and we'll also have that information on the credits when we finish the show. But I am so excited about this. And then that you're giving away a copy of your book, You Can Do Hard Things. Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
That's what you're telling my audience?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I mean, how wonderful is this to have that opportunity and to get a free book on top of that, and to have some accountability. Let's talk just a little bit about accountability, but I want to do that as soon as we get back from this commercial break. Welcome back with me at the I Am Power Hour, and my special guest today, Cynthia Caughie. And I want to talk just a little bit. It's a dirty word. I'm finding out it's a dirty word, and we're going to say it right here in live. Accountability. Being accountable for your thoughts, your behaviors, and your actions. Tell me about that dirty word, and let's just break it down, shall we?
Well, to me, accountability is the follow through. Right? It's the follow through. Yeah. You can say it. You can have good intentions. You can put it on the calendar. You can write it on your goals. But does it get done? The accountability, right?
Yep.
Is the process of having either, you can do it yourself, but most people don't. They think that by putting it on the calendar, by saying it out loud, then that is them holding themselves accountable. But do you have the consistency and the discipline to actually follow through?
Yeah.
And the dirty truth is, the God's honest truth is, 95% of the people don't have it.
Yeah, that's right.
They just don't. We start, we fall off.
Right.
Something happens, life takes control. We don't have the tools. We don't know how. Something happens and we fall off.
Yeah.
And we don't get back up. The accountability part is that person that says, here's my hand, right? Let me help you. Let me pull you along. Let me give you a tool. Let me give you the time. Let me hold you to that line that says, okay, this is what's next. This is how we're going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's very important, because we've got to be able to we can set those goals out there and, a month, 3 months, 6 months, 5 years, whatever it is. But if we don't take the steps to get for it, and that's like I mentioned earlier about, put one foot in front of the other and soon you'll be walk across the floor. But just by writing it down does not make it so. And so sometimes we need someone such as yourself to help encourage us along and to help us to identify those steps. I can sit here and I can say, I want to do, such and such in the next 6 months. And I can write it down and I can say, this date, I'm going to have this done. Mm-hmm. But what happens in between, Cynthia? What do we got to do to get to that date? Because time's going to go by, whether we like it or not. It's going to continue to move forward. And so are we moving forward with it? Or are we just letting it stress us out? And then here's what happens. We get to that date, or we get close to that date, and we haven't done what needs to be done. So then the limiting beliefs come up. I'm not good enough. I'm a failure. I didn't do it. I'm not smart enough. And that continues to program in our minds, right?
I will offer this at that time because this is perfect. So people think if I start, I'll finish. No, it's not true.
Yeah.
Self-development is a way of life.
Yes.
It just is. It's every day. You have to put in effort. You have to put in work. It's just if you want the results, something I did a reel one time and this really hit me. This was right before my first time I spoke on stage. Don't get upset for the results you didn't get, for the work you did not do.
Ooh.
That's right. Right? Isn't it good?
Say that again. Say that again. Say that one more time.
Don't get upset for the results you didn't get, for the work you did not do.
Ooh, the epitome of accountability.
You think it's going to be easy. You think because you started, you're going to finish. You're going to fall through. The only person who can do that is you. Yeah. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
And again, I think one of the biggest things for people is they don't know how. So they stop. They think, well, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And for us, right, accountability, that's that extra person that can say, okay, let's look at it this way. Right. What can we do? Where are we at? And for the person who has the goals, the person that's going through this, that is the time for them to reflect and figure out in themselves what is holding them back. So if they know that they don't have the answer, most of the time, what happens? They retreat. They don't seek. They go back. They, like you said, they go back to the beliefs. That's what's in their head. Right. But if we learn to move forward and seek the new information, it makes us that much stronger.
Right.
So the one foot in front of the other, if you keep doing it, you'll be walking across the floor. I remember it.
Yes. And out that door. And out
that.
And that's exactly what we want to help people to do. And we set these goals and we put them way out there too, but sometimes too, we have these great aspirations, but we don't know how to get there. And there's a lot of steps it takes in between to get there. So are you willing to help hold their hand and help them to understand and come up with those particular steps in between and through your sessions of helping them to come up with the ideas of what I can do each and every day to help me work towards that? Is that part of what you do in your coaching?
Absolutely. And a lot of times it's your habits. Yes. So part of the process in the coaching is asking the hard questions.
Yeah.
What are you doing? My 3 standard questions to help open yourself up to reflection is, what am I doing well? What am I not doing well? And how can I improve? Standard questions. Just ask yourself those questions and see what your answers are. Then from there,
repeat those again so people can write that down. Repeat that again.
What am I doing well? What am I not doing well? And how can I improve?
Okay.
You're asking yourself. It doesn't come from anyone else. And the process of asking yourself those questions, then you're learning through the process. Well, what did I do well today? Well, I didn't drink enough water. Well, I got just, what am I doing well? I drank enough water. I slept well. I made my bed. That's it. What did I not do well? Well, I didn't get to my to-do list today. I didn't spend enough time with my daughter today. Well, how can I improve? Well, tomorrow I'm going to set my intentions. I'm going to spend 30 minutes with my daughter. I'm going to work an hour on my to-do list. And then as that process happens and you ask yourself, I actually made a reflection journal for 30 days. If you do that and you ask yourself just those 3 questions every day, you will become self-aware. You'll say to yourself, well, why didn't I? Why didn't I spend the 30 minutes with my daughter? Why didn't I work that hour on my to-do list? Well, what was I doing?
Right.
Was I goofing off? Was I sleeping? Was I not interested? You know, what was it? And then you say, okay, well, how can I improve that tomorrow? So every day you learn something, and then every day you get better.
I love it. I love it.
It's really an amazing process of self-development. I am in love with the process. Yeah. I literally learn something new every day.
Yes. And that's because we're open to that. And you've got to open yourself up to be willing to allow, to be willing to observe, and to be able to have what I call an attitude of gratitude. And we need to be grateful for the things that we have when we first wake up in the morning. And we need to count our blessings and have a list of gratitude of things that we do in the evening. And these things, and I've learned even through all of the things that I've been through, especially over the course of the last couple of years, that if I keep my gratitude higher than my worries, I will win every time. And sometimes, even when we're in pain, even when we're in sadness, even when we're in, being upset over one thing or another, if we can find something to help us to grow from that, or find something that we've learned from it, or find a reason to be grateful, then we have done something for ourselves.
It's a key word right there, for us.
Exactly.
Right?
We're
doing it for us. Life is happening for us and not to us.
Amen, amen, amen. I love it. I love it. We're going to be right back with my dear friend all the way out there in California and talk about how you can truly get a hold of her, what she's got on the horizon right after this message. Welcome back to the I Am Power Hour, and we are here again with my dear friend all the way out there in California, Miss Cynthia Caughie, one you can truly get a hold of, and is the Chief Encouragement Officer. She's encouraged me here today, and I hope that she's encouraged you to at least be able to have the willingness to learn new things and to reach out to her for accountability. Cynthia, tell me what's going on with you today and what's happening in the near future, because I know you got some exciting news.
I do. There are a lot of things, and I want to continue to focus. I am a businesswoman.
Yep.
I own a restaurant, and I think that that's very important. Self-development is very important, and it led to the growth in my restaurant, right? Yeah. I couldn't do the things I am currently doing without the self-development process. Okay.
Right.
So I want to stress to people that, again, no matter if it's personal or business, it all starts with you. If you're not achieving your goals, right, in work, in business, in whatever vocation you have, look inside and figure out what you can do next to improve, to become the person you want to be for the business, for your family, for whatever it is. So I'm coming up with a journal / planner. It's going to be the Consistency Keeper. And in that, yes, and in that, I'm going to call it a planner, because I think it's important There are journaling points in it, but
Mhm.
because I have seen the value in the reflection process and becoming self-aware, I really wanted to build that in. So to combine your business and self-development is very important, because in order to get to that next level in business, you have to get to that next level in you. To me, success is loving who you are, loving what you do, and loving how you do it. And again, it all starts and ends with you, right? So the planner will have a calendar, it will have affirmations, it will have quotes, it will have journaling exercises, and it will have reflection exercises all in one.
Wow.
So the consistency keeper is, as you grow through the process, I'm there to help lead you with different cues and questions with maybe you didn't know before. And so each time you reflect and you get answers to these questions, it helps you grow. And then you reach that next level. And at any point in the process, you can always call me. You can always sign up for coaching, but it's designed, I'm designing it now. It will actually be out. I picked my birthday because I want to give to people. So it will be in October. I speak also in October, but it will be ready to go. And I am over the moon excited for it. Again, because I have found that there are planners, there are journals, but to be consistent, I'm going to gently weave them together so that you can do the process a little bit more seamlessly, so that you continue to be consistent. It's to keep your consistency. You know, we do it for a couple of days, we fall off. We'll do it once a week. You know, we won't go back to it for a month,
Right.
Things like that.
Yeah, and you are a key to organization. One thing that I kind of a little slow at, but it's all good. I make it. But the thing about it is, with this, it sounds like you've put a lot of thought in this, you've put a lot of process in this, and it's organized to help people, maybe even such as myself, who's not quite so organized, but just willing to take the time to take the steps and write this stuff down and go through there and read your questions. So I'm excited. I am very excited about this. This has been needed for so long. Where can I find it? Where can I find it in October?
It will be on my website. Everything will be on my website. It will be on Amazon as well. You can purchase my book, You Can Do Hard Things, on Amazon. On my website, you can purchase all of the things. I've got compilation books, I've got the reflection journal, and I have my book.
Okay.
So you can
So
find
we need to-
everything on my website.
So we need to get over to Cynthia Caughie.com and start scheduling an appointment with you for your coaching. We need to watch out for your upcoming journal. Also, we can get your book. You Can Do Hard Things. And it is a fabulous, fabulous book. Where can they find you on social media again? Because you are an up and coming. And what social media platforms are? You are gaining a huge following with all of your chief encouragement each and every day.
Honestly, Instagram is like my go-to. Instagram has the reels, I do a daily, I call it walk talk because that's how it started.
Yeah.
I just used to walk and talk. I was just talking about the things that came up in my head. And then people started to, resonate, and they asked me questions, and then they said, I love your energy. And so it just, kind of morphed from there. And so I do reels and I do lives, but that's probably the easiest access. But join the Facebook group. It's so awesome. The challenges are great. You can win things. I'm giving away a ticket to my next speaking event with this 14-day challenge. So it's fun. It's engaging. It helps you learn. You build community. You learn. You can make new friends, even in your area. I mean, there's people all over the United States in there, which is awesome.
And it is awesome. And there's a lot of connection because, again, you are a connecting person. You've built connection, community, even through the pandemic, even with your business. So you've got the experience, you've shown it, and you've shown yourself, and you've proven yourself well, and you continue to grow because we never continue. We're always in a state of becoming. What is that Facebook group that people could sign up for?
The Facebook group is called You affirmations, and positive mindset, because those are the two things that I believe when we focus on can make the biggest change.
Yeah.
You can find the link on my website and on Instagram.
Perfect.
Worst comes to worst, DM me.
DM you. That's
I
right.
answer all my own DMs.
She is very responsive. Trust me. And if you catch her on a live, she's really responsive in there too. But even if you have to do a replay and make some comments or anything or have any questions, she's also very responsive on that. I can attest to that. So I love you, Cynthia Caughie, and I've had such a blast with you today. It's always great because I always learn new things from my dear friend, Cynthia Caughie. Thank you for coming today.
I appreciate you very much, and I'm honored. So thank you so much for the time and the opportunity. I love you, girl.
I love you too. Y'all, it's been a great day. And I want you to know that we're going to continue to carry on with the I Am Power Hour and have the courage to rise and thrive. And I hope you've enjoyed my guest today. And we will see you the next time on the I Am Power Hour.